Ever drive past like a freshly planted road sign and wonder like how they even decide to put that there?
Mm.
Well, get ready to have your mind blown because today's deep dive is all about the surprisingly intricate world of road sign installation.
You're absolutely right. It's something we take for granted every single day. But when you stop and think about it, there's a hidden complexity behind those signs.
Yeah.
It's way more than just hammering metal to a post.
You requested this deep dive, so you're obviously as curious as I am.
Hmm.
And let me tell you, this RoleCatcher.com career guide on road sign installers did not disappoint.
Oh, wow.
I figured it'd be a pretty straightforward job, but then, bam, right off the bat, they hit you with no formal education required.
I have to admit, that caught my eye too. You don't see that every day, especially for a job that's so crucial to, not driving off a cliff.
Exactly. It definitely piques your interest.
Yeah.
But then the guide goes on to explain that while you might not need a fancy degree, there's a ton of on-the-job training involved. This isn't just a brute strength job. There's real craftsmanship and a need for precision safety knowledge specific techniques. It's way more involved than it looks.
It reminds me of those skilled tradespeople we deep dived a while back. Like, everyone appreciates a beautifully tiled bathroom, but nobody thinks about the meticulous work that goes into getting those angles and grout lines perfect.
Right.
Road sign installation seems to have that same hidden layer of expertise.
And speaking of hidden layers, the work environment itself was another thing that surprised me.
Okay,
It's not all sunshine and clear skies when you're out there wrestling with those signs.
that's right. The guide does make it clear that this is outdoor work, rain or shine snow or sleet. It even mentions potential hazards like working near high-speed traffic or at heights.
Oh, wow.
Makes you realize these folks deserve a lot more credit than they probably get.
For real. And the actual installation process was another eye-opener for me.
Yeah.
This isn't just sticking a post in the ground and calling it a day.
Right.
They're drilling into the pavement, sometimes even having to remove existing concrete to make sure the sign is secure.
And for the really heavy signs, they're basically building mini foundations with concrete. That level of detail shows that it's not just about getting the job done. It's about understanding the environment, the materials, and ensuring that those signs can withstand anything Mother Nature throws at them.
And speaking of withstanding the elements, I was fascinated by the section on technology advances. I mean, even road signs are getting in on the tech revolution, right?
Absolutely. The guide mentions that new equipment and technology are making the installation process faster and more efficient. But what I find particularly interesting is how this is impacting the skills required for the job itself.
It makes you wonder, like, what's next for road sign installers? Will they be operating robotic arms, using laser levels, or maybe even programming digital signs from their trucks?
It's a valid question. The guide doesn't give us all the answers, but it does hint at an evolving skill set. Think about it. We're already seeing digital signs that can change messages based on traffic flow or weather conditions. Someone's got to install those, maintain them, maybe even program them.
That's wild. It's like those signs are turning into mini computers. And the people installing them might need IT skills alongside their construction know-how.
Right.
It's a good thing the guide also mentions a surprising 68% overlap with building and construction skills.
Right. It makes you think about career paths in a whole new light. This overlap suggests that someone with experience in construction could potentially transition into road sign installation, bringing their existing knowledge of material structures and maybe even blueprint reading with them.
It's like a hidden doorway between two fields that you wouldn't necessarily think were connected. And speaking of hidden doorways, remember how we were blown away by the fact that there are actual career stages within road sign installation?
Mm.
It's not just installer from day one until retirement.
Absolutely, and that's where things get really interesting. The guide outlines a clear progression from trainee to supervisor, and the responsibilities evolve at each level. You're not just focused on the physical act of installation anymore. You're developing plans, managing budgets, even training others.
Yeah, they even mentioned something about senior road sign installers
Mm.
being involved in developing installation plans and managing budgets. That's a far cry from digging holes and pouring concrete.
Exactly, and that's where those transferable skills become even more crucial as you move up the ranks. You need a deep understanding of regulations, best practices, and project management principles. This isn't just a job, it's a legitimate career path with real potential for growth.
It definitely challenges your perception of what this field is all about. You might start out thinking, okay, it's a job, but then you realize there's this whole ladder you can climb with opportunities to specialize and take on more responsibility.
And let's not forget the essential role these professionals play in our daily lives. They're literally shaping our infrastructure, making sure we can navigate our world safely and efficiently.
It's true. They're kind of like unsung heroes in a way we might not think about them much, but without those signs, our roads would be total chaos.
Yeah.
But there's one other thing that really struck me while reading this guide.
What's that?
The guide briefly touched on how technology is changing, not just how road signs are installed, but also how they're designed.
Ah, yes. That's a whole other layer of complexity and opportunity. And it makes you wonder, how will those two trends, the evolution of installation and the evolution of design, converge in the future?
Okay, you've got me picturing futuristic roads with signs that like change right before our eyes.
Yeah.
We're talking like self-driving cars that get instructions beamed directly into their systems, making physical signs obsolete.
That's definitely a possibility. Or imagine signs that adapt in real time, displaying different messages or warnings based on traffic flow, weather conditions, or even hazards detected by sensors embedded in the road. We're not just talking static pieces of metal anymore, but dynamic, interactive elements of a smart infrastructure.
Now that you mention it, I have seen those signs that warn about congestion ahead, and they seem to change based on the actual traffic. But still thinking about signs becoming even more high-tech, does that mean we won't even need road sign installers in the future?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And while this career guide doesn't have all the answers, it does emphasize the importance of adaptability in this field. Just like those technology advances we talked about earlier, the skills required for road sign installers are going to evolve right alongside the technology itself.
So instead of just digging holes and pouring concrete, future installers might need to be proficient in programming electronics or even data analysis. That's a whole different skill set.
Absolutely. They might become the technicians who calibrate those real-time signs, troubleshoot communication issues, or even analyze traffic data to optimize sign placement for maximum effectiveness.
It's incredible to think that a field that seems so straightforward on the surface has this much potential for growth and specialization.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, most of us never give road signs a second thought.
That's the beauty of these deep dives, isn't it? We uncover the hidden dimensions of the everyday, revealing a whole universe of skill, ingenuity, and yes, even unexpected career paths right beneath the surface.
It makes you appreciate those signs in a whole new way. The next time I'm driving and see a stop sign, I'll definitely be thinking about the blend of tradition, technology, and human expertise that went into putting it there.
And who knows what fascinating innovations are just around the bend. What started as a simple look at road signs turned into a glimpse into the future of our infrastructure.
It really makes you think, well, on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the world of road sign installation. We hope this episode gave you a newfound appreciation for the often unseen forces that keep our world running smoothly and maybe even spark some ideas for your own journey of exploration and discovery.
Absolutely, remember, there's always something new to learn.
Until next time, keep asking questions, keep learning, and keep diving deep.